What's going on, guys? Today we're here to discuss the subject of Game Pass going up in price, and we might touch on games going up in price as well, because they kind of connect with each other, of course, because Game Pass is a subscription service that allows you to have access to a ton of games. Now, if you're of a certain age where you might either be living home with your parents, or you may have just moved away from your parents and maybe your parents are still kind of paying for certain things for you, you may not be aware of what I'm about to discuss, and that is the fact that these online services, whether they be Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Disney, whatever, they all go up eventually. I actually had these services early on. I've had them for years. I can't even remember how long. Netflix, I want to say I've had from the very beginning. But one of the things I noticed, even with some of the ones who are some of the best ones now, like Netflix and Hulu, I think that was the first one I had, I believe. And there was a time when Netflix was really starting to seem kind of barren to me. You know, I would look at it and I had some things on my watch list, things that I wanted to watch. I forget the exact name of the list, but you know what I'm talking about. All these online services have it where you can kind of take the ones you're most interested in and put them in a certain category. But anyway, other than that, as I'm scrolling through, it got to a point where when it came to putting things on that list, it started to seem kind of barren, kind of empty, like there was nothing there. And I was actually thinking that eventually I might get rid of it, you know, because I was like, wow, you know, pretty soon I'm going to get to a point where I've looked at everything that's on the list, because at that time the list was not that long, and you know, after that, you know, I'm going to be pretty much done with it. Well, around the same time I was thinking like that, Netflix actually started putting a few more things on there. A lot of good stuff that was on there. I was actually talking to a few people about it, like, wow, you see all this stuff on Netflix? Netflix is really adding some pretty good stuff. I logged on one day and, you know, I just start seeing more and more stuff each day. They started coming out with their own shows that was like Netflix originals and all of that. After they did, of course, they put the content on there first, and then they announced that they were going to have a price increase. Little did anybody know, there was actually more to come even after that. And they actually said that. They said, hey, look, we already have a lot of stuff that we put on there, which was true. You know, I thought, okay. And we even have more to come. And I was like, wow, because they had already come with so much. I thought, okay, you know what? I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna hang on to it. Now, Hulu was kind of lagging behind in this, right? But I had the same experience with Hulu. Okay, so the price of Netflix went up. That caused me to think about getting rid of Hulu. But Hulu basically did the exact same thing. Now, the only thing I don't like about Hulu is they have all these shows where you have to watch commercials. That I don't like. But my HBO and a couple other things is kind of tied to Hulu. So, and another thing I don't like about Hulu is how easily they log out. You log out, like if you could just take the app and put it in the background and go online and do something like pay a bill. When you come back, whatever you were watching, it isn't there. So that's a technical thing. Hulu definitely needs to get better about that. But they completely just log you out. So whatever you were looking at, you basically have to boot it back up again. But anyway, other than that, Hulu's pretty cool. Amazon, I got Amazon. I can't remember how long I've had Amazon. It definitely hadn't been as long as I've had Hulu and Netflix, but Amazon basically did the same thing. Amazon's got some great stuff on there. The thing I like about Amazon is they're not really great at keeping a lot of new video entertainment. That's not really what I watch them for. What I like about Amazon, for me personally, now they have some new things on there. They're just not really good about putting it in the front. They're bad when it comes to their marketing. You really have to go and search for things on Amazon. But Amazon has a lot of hidden gems that are not well known. I often find things on Amazon that's like 10 to 20 years old, and it's rated 4 and 5 stars. And I watch a lot of it and I actually end up enjoying it. That's the purpose that Amazon serves for me. But anyway, the reason I'm talking about all of these different services that have really nothing to do with video games is because it's a service that's just like those services, only they are for video games. Now, believe it or not, there was a time when I actually thought about getting rid of Game Pass, but my experience with Game Pass was very similar to my experience with Netflix and Hulu. by the time the topic of a price increase came up, I was in. I mean, they had so many different video games on there, and they had increased my backlog immensely. The only difference is that a lot of the games in my backlog, they came from a service instead of me going out buying them individually. Now, you guys also know that I'm an advocate for purchasing old games. For example, Gotham Knights. I was actually going to buy Gotham Knights. I was going to buy Gotham Knights either alongside or instead of Modern Warfare. So I had already decided that if I'm going to buy one or the other, I'm going to buy Gotham Knights. I ended up buying Modern Warfare. In fact, I put out a video of, well, you see it right here on the screen, is actually playing. And I'm enjoying that game, by the way. I'm enjoying that game. So that game is so immersive that the last video that I made that I haven't even put out yet, as of the making of this video, I actually made it kind of look like a movie, and hopefully you guys will see it and you'll see what I'm talking about. That game is so immersive. But anyway, as the price of games go up, and they are going to go up, guys, look, they're talking 70 now. You recently had a dev come out and say, hey, look, you really need to be paying us $90. He's saying that because that's being discussed. Believe it. Just believe that. You know, don't be naive. They're discussing that because, as Sean Layton said, and a few other industry heads said, it costs a lot to make these games look like movies. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the video. I'm going to put it at the bottom. I made it clear. I like my games to look like games, and I'm totally fine with Halo, Gears of War, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm fine with them being the ceiling. I don't need games to look like movies. I'm great. Spider-Man. I'm great. I'm good. You really don't need, you can cap it right there. But that's not where the industry is heading. And they know that we as real gamers feel that way. The hobbyist gamers, they know we feel that way. But what they're trying to do is they're really trying to get a new audience. They're trying to expand their audience. They're trying to get those people who never play video games because they look too much like games. And maybe one day, for example, a father will be walking through an electronic store and he'll look over and see a setup where a game is playing on the TV, and he looks at it and he thinks, wow, what movie is that? And then he realizes it's a game. From that point, he's all in. Like, honey, come look at this. Wow, this looks like a movie. Wow, yeah, that looks like a Navy SEALs movie. And then the kids start looking, yeah, what is that? And it's a video game. And now, you know, they want to get it, you know, or even some young person who's thinking, wow, you know, games, you know, like some, believe it or not, you know, there are a lot of young people that don't game. But if you can make them look like movies, you'll pull them in because they'll think to themselves, wow, it's like I'm really in a movie, only I'm playing in it. I'm making the decisions as to who gets shot and who doesn't, which road I'm going to go down, this road or that road. So they're trying to pull more people in. They know that we as hobbyist gamers, they know that we don't care about that. They know that we're fully aware of the reason why the price of games is going up. They're trying to pull in people, the casuals, the people who don't keep up with gaming news. They're trying to pull them in. So believe it, guys, these prices on these games are going to go up to $90. And as the price of games go up, well, let's not get too far ahead. They're going to go up to 80. As soon as they go to 70, you can best believe they don't want to stop there. They're going to keep going. And as the price of these things go up, now there will come a time, like Sean Layton said, and like I said, other industry heads, there is going to come a time where they're going to bump into a wall because all of these games that they're putting all of this money into to make them look like movies, and they're 60 hours long and 70 hours long, and not all of them are going to sell. They're going to lose money on a lot of games, and at some point they're going to realize that we can't keep going down this road. I'm not the only one saying this. Other people are saying, other professional industry types are saying this. So it is going to get to a point where they're going to realize, especially when investors start losing their money, they're going to realize that something's got to give. Like maybe they'll decide that, hey, look, when we make these games look like this, maybe they need to be 10 or 15 hours. No, maybe they don't need to be 40 and 50 and 60 hours. That'll cut their costs, but they're not going to pass that to us. They're still going to charge us like 70 or 80 bucks. And then it will be up to you as to whether or not you want to buy it. I don't mind, you know, if it looks like a real novelty, you know, if I look at like, wow, that's really different. You know, if it really looks like an awesome game, I'm not totally against paying full price for games. If it looks awesome, I'll buy it, you know, but don't charge me, you know, $90, $100. Let's not start going there. Let's stop it right here. And one of the ways we can stop it, if you stop making these long games that cost a lot of money to make in the first place, because you're trying to make them look like movies. Okay. So as the price of games go up, the price of these services are going to go up because you have to think about it. The whole purpose of a service like Game Pass, and I said service like, because it's not the only one like it. You know, you have other people who have services as well. Ubisoft, yeah, they have a lot of their own games, but still they have to make them. They still cost a lot. So of course the price of the services that house the products that have gone up in price is going to go up. It's always been that way. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Disney, all of them have gone up multiple times since I've had them. So you're going to see a lot of people on YouTube. They're going to have these titles to their videos, making it seem like, you know, wow, this is really bad news for Xbox and Microsoft. Wow, look what's, wow, the price of Game Pass is going up. Who knew? You know who knew? Yeah, they did a long time ago, and they're not surprised by it. So in other words, they're going to pretend to be naive in order to have a title on their video to get clicks. But anyone who's being even remotely honest knows that a price increase in Game Pass or any other gaming service is not a surprise. So and right now, to be honest with you, Game Pass is not even the most expensive service out there. So there is that. They offer the most, in my opinion, but they don't cost the most. So eventually, yes, they have to go up. And some of these same people that you're gonna see acting surprised, some of them actually, because I already saw a guy, I'm not gonna say his name, he's well respected on YouTube. He's been saying for a very long, like a long time ago, like long before Game Pass even had like half of what it's got on there now, he said on his channel that they're going to have to go up in price. And he was speaking back then like, of course, it's totally reasonable. But now he's got a video, you know, basically talking like this is a huge deal and like it's a surprise. But here's the reality. Video games have grown larger than movies and the music business. And as a result, the industry has attracted what I like to refer to as a bunch of undesirables, meaning a bunch of Wall Street types, a bunch of investors, and things of that nature. They don't look at gaming the same way that we do. They're trying to figure out how much money they can make off of it. And these people are going to cause the prices of everything involving gaming to go up. So we're talking about everything that's going to be needed to drive the sorts of technology that they're going to want to go into gaming. The 40 series, for example, the way the industry is really trying to push that. So it's going to happen. And as the prices of individual games go up, the services that house those games as a part of their service is also going to go up. Now, of course, with a service, they have to be careful not to go up so much that you just figure, well, hey, I might as well drop the service and just buy individual games. So having a service will always be cheaper than just going out buying a whole bunch of games. So you don't need to worry about that. But the price of everything is going to go up. So, and for me, to be perfectly honest with you, this is even more reason to have a service like Game Pass. So hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and cut it off right there. And hey, look, if you liked the video, give me a like. And if you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down, because you know, like I always say, I'm a big boy and I can definitely take it. And hey, look, if you get some time, share the video, because YouTube's algorithm is brutal. But as usual, guys, stay safe.